Why can a bored ba turn one quiet afternoon into shredded pillows, torn slippers, and a living room that feels almost unrecognizable? You come home, open the door, and the silence is so suspicious, it almost warns you before your eyes find the mess. Stuffing is floating from a pillow. One slipper is split open, and paper trails across the floor like the day exploded. The first sting is not even the damage itself, but the strange feeling that it looks personal. Many owners ask the same painful question in that moment. Did my dog do this to get back at me? That question sounds natural, but it can hide the real story for years. Most dogs are not destroying the house because they are bad, dramatic, or secretly spiteful. Very often, something inside the dog's day has been empty for too long. The broken object is only the surface, and underneath it is a mind trying to do something with time. What looks rude through human eyes can feel completely logical through canine instincts. A dog does not measure a day by productivity, but by movement, scent, problem-solving, and social connection. So when those things disappear, boredom does not stay quiet inside the body for very long. It starts looking for an exit through the mouth, the paws, and the nose. That is why punishment often lands on the symptom while missing the need underneath it. The real question is not why the sofa was damaged, but why boredom can become so physically destructive. To understand that, you have to stop reading the room like a person and start reading it like a dog. Many owners believe food, water, a bed, and a few toys should be enough to keep a dog emotionally fine. But physical care and mental fulfillment are not the same thing in a social, curious, working species. A dog's world needs scent, novelty, interaction, and small problems worth solving. The nose wants information, the body wants purpose, and the brain wants something to work through. A short walk with no time to sniff may move the legs, but it often does not satisfy the mind. A pile of toys can also become meaningless when nothing in the day feels new anymore. From the outside, the house may look comfortable, but the dog's inner world can still feel painfully flat. Humans can sit inside boredom and scroll, daydream, or complain about it in their heads. Dogs usually do something more physical with that same state, because instinct pushes feeling toward action. The mouth begins searching, the paws begin roaming, and the nose begins hunting for interest. That is where natural chewing becomes important to understand, instead of simply fearing it. Chewing is not a weird habit in dogs. It is one of the most normal behaviors they have. Puppies chew for development and teething, but adult dogs still chew for regulation, occupation, and relief. An adult dog may chew simply because the afternoon feels too long and too empty. Mild frustration can also drain through chewing, the way repetitive motion helps release tension. When boredom meets that natural urge, the dog starts inventing a project. That project can become biting, shredding, digging, scratching, dragging, or raiding the trash. To the owner, it looks chaotic. To the dog, it finally feels like something is happening. The destruction is often not meaningless to the animal, and even when it feels meaningless to the person cleaning it up. Owners sometimes say their dog always chooses the most important things in the house. But dogs usually choose by scent, texture, access, resistance, and how satisfying the object feels in the mouth. Shoes are powerful targets because they live at mouth level and carry a dense, familiar human scent. Remotes are small, handled often, and rich with the smell of the person who uses them every day. Pillows reward effort quickly because one good tear turns into a burst of motion and texture. Sofa edges and wooden trims stay still, meet the jaw at the right level, and push back just enough. A trash bag is not random either. because it crackles, shifts, smells layered, and promises discovery. From a dog's perspective, these are not sentimental symbols, thus they are interesting sensory problems. Your scent can make them even more magnetic, because familiar smell feels socially important as well as stimulating. So when a dog grabs your slipper, the act is usually not revenge wearing a disguise. It is often boredom, contact, curiosity, and self-soothing compressed into one fast behavior. At first, the dog may only test an object for a few seconds. Then the jaw closes, the material answers back, and the brain suddenly has something concrete to focus on. That moment matters, because relief can arrive almost immediately. The dog feels less empty, less stuck, and less underused for a little while. And the nervous system learns from relief with incredible speed. A simple lesson begins forming. When the day feels dead, chewing changes the feeling. And that is how boredom becomes a loop instead of a one-time accident. First comes emptiness, then searching, then chewing, then a small burst of satisfaction. Once that sequence works, repeating it becomes easier the next time boredom returns. This is why some dogs seem almost creative in the trouble they invent. They are not acting like villains. They are solving an emotional and sensory problem with the tools they have. But boredom is not the only reason a dog may destroy things at home. Sometimes the damage happens mainly when the dog is left alone, and that clue matters. If destruction comes with whining, barking, pacing, indoor accidents, or frantic door focus, look deeper. In that case, you may be seeing separation anxiety, not simple boredom. A bored dog is trying to find something to do, while an anxious dog is reacting to distress. The broken object can look the same, but the emotion behind it can be completely different. One dog tears a cushion because the afternoon feels empty and overstretched. Another claws a door because being left alone feels frightening, unstable, and unsafe. That difference matters, because punishment misses both problems and understanding separates them. The most painful misunderstanding is believing the dog is trying to hurt you on purpose. Many destructive dogs are not pushing against the owner at all. They are pushing against emptiness or panic. A dog does not sit in the living room planning how to ruin your evening. The dog is trying to regulate a hard, inner state using instinct, movement, scent, and the mouth. Yet that insight changes the whole conversation from blame to responsibility. The better question becomes, what does this dog's day actually feel like when nobody is watching? Is there enough movement to create healthy fatigue instead of trapped energy? Is there enough sniffing to let the nose do the work it was built for?
You didn't do this, right?
Are there small challenges that make the brain engage instead of drift? Do toys stay interesting, or have they become wallpaper in the room? Is the dog alone so long that the day becomes one empty block of waiting? And when destruction appears, are the signs saying boredom, or are they saying separation distress? That is why the answer cannot begin and end with yelling. Scolding targets the aftermath, but enrichment changes the day that created the aftermath. If you want to save the sofa, start by feeding the dog's inner life before the mouth has to speak for it. Behind many wrecked rooms is not a bad dog, but a mind that has gone too hungry for too long.